Malin. The President is approaching the platform, and I know you'll want to give her a very warm welcome. Accompanied by the Chairman of the Tidy Towns Committee, John McLaughlin, the Chairman of Board Fáilte, Martin Dully, and Minister Pat the Cope Gallagher.
Back, please. Back in.
Teachta dála Cahirirlí Board Fáilte, Cahirirlí an régiún Tuairisceoireachta, Cahirirlí Chorla Comda, Athracha agus a Thiúracha Ormhíneacha, a Chorlóirí Muintir Malin agus a Guine Uaisle Illig. Is ócáid an speisialta seo agus ócáid starú le freisin ina bhfuil míid go léir an seo an óir do Muintir Malin agus caithimé go gáidegus í anamh ar bhur chun agus mar bhainistear an régiún Tuairisceoireachta tá mé anbhródúil ar fad de bheith an seo chun 100 míle fáilte gháil de gaci le gine an seo go Malin. Ach go háirithe caithimé fíorfáilte gháil de duine anspeisialta in éireann sé sin á Uachtaráin na hÉireann a thuilte mar a bhíh Róbín agus a fearr chéile Nick agus bhuaithlim sibse chun fáilte chorró. In Galéir, go ráidir an an sé sin an Uachtaráin agus a fearr chéile Nick, ráidir an a chorra uairtear an choir sin na ghlacha agus a bheith láthar an seo an tróna. Go míle maith againn. As I said, it's a very special occasion for us in the Northwest and for people of Malin. And as I said also, Her Excellency the President of Ireland, her mother was born just a few miles away here in Carndonagh. So it's fitting then that we have a young girl, a 5th year student in the community school in Carndonagh, a girl whose name is Clodagh Hegarty. She's 16 years of age, and it is now my pleasure to ask her to read an address of welcome and later to present it to Her Excellency the President of Ireland.
Har ceann pobl Wallana agus Muntir ina seón bharmid spíorchan fáilte road go dtí an ceilire seo inniu. Is mór an honour doing tú a bheith I láthair leis an Plaque a bhuaigh muid an tú. Is mór ar más go tánig tú an baile ar fad ó farc an isca go dtí an baile is fáilte ó thuaigh an Éireann. Tá muid I Malin ionntach bodal as an ceirmeacht atá bainte an maith againn I go mórtas na máilte slacmhara don dara uair. Ar dú man agus cús gard I stún an tam a churann tú féin I gcefnú, agus lasú na cuasanachta agus an díochras agus an díchas a haispanan tú don ias ág san bhar is náisiúnta seo. Your Excellency, we extend to you a real and hearty and a shown welcome, and, as one of yourselves, a special place in our ceremony here today. For such a small community, it is indeed a unique and great honour to have the President of Ireland with us to unveil the national plaque and to celebrate our great achievement in winning the national award for the 2nd time. Since taking office, you yourself have shown the same commitment and dedication to our environment and heritage. It is our sincere wish that you always enjoy and cherish your visit to Malin. We, for our part, will always remember and appreciate it.
Clodagh. Now, of course, the whole community effort here in Malin was spearheaded by the chairman, and it is my pleasure now to call on the chairman of the Malin Tidy Towns Committee, Mr. John McLaughlin.
Uachtaráin and distinguished guests, on behalf of the Tidy Towns Committee and the people of Malin, I would like to welcome you all, our President and our guests, here to Malin on this special occasion to celebrate National Tidy Towns Day. We are very honoured to bring this prestigious award back to Malin for the second time. Since Malin first entered the competition, it has had many successes with no fewer than 5 regional awards, taking the overall award on 2 occasions, namely 1970 and 1991. Our success in the competition is mainly due to the total dedication of the present and past committees and of the people of Malin. I am glad to see the chairman and many of the 1970 committee present here today. And let us not forget those who have passed away since then. This day wouldn't be possible without the wholehearted support and hard work of each and every household in the village and the surrounding areas, who have willingly maintained the high standard that is visible here today, and which has led to Malin's success over the years. For the past month, the people of Malin have battled through rain, hail, wind, with cheery spirits, and have Malin looking as well as Malin looking as well as it is. Surely this is community spirit at its best, and a special word of thanks must go to all concerned. I hope this commitment will continue for many years to come. At this point, I would like to thank Foss and the team of workers working under that scheme, who have worked very hard over the past month to help the committee prepare Malin for this day. Thank them all. Creating an awareness of the environment must start at an early age, and we have recognised this in our school's art project, whereby pupils from each school in the parish painted murals highlighting the important aspects of their local environments. These can be viewed later today in the parochial hall. We hope this will encourage our children to respect the area that they live in, and maybe in future years will be members of National Tidy Towns winners. Malin's continued success has helped to put Inishowen and North West tourism firmly on the map. The strong drive and determination of the recently formed Inishowen Tourism Co-op will be enhanced by our success in the 1991 competition. We hope to see a marked increase in tourism to the area for 1992. However, a word of caution. The dumping of domestic and agricultural plastic waste, such as bags, bottles, covers, etc., has to be addressed without delay. I would appeal to our Minister and public representatives to tackle this problem before the beauty of our countryside is destroyed forever. And let's face it, this is one of our great resources that we cannot afford to lose. In conclusion, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Board Fáilte, the organisers of the competition, and North West Tourism and all their staff. Super value this year's sponsors, First National last year's sponsors, and all those who are taking part in today's celebrations. I do not intend to thank people individually here today, as our time is limited, but I feel I would have to mention 2 groups of people. The Order of Malta, who are providing first aid here today, a voluntary committee, and the 24th Battalion of the FCA. Their presence was much appreciated. Lastly, to our President, I sincerely thank you for coming here to Malin and honouring us with your presence. I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay with us in Malin and return in the not too distant future. Goromila Mayaga. And now, on behalf of the people of Malin and the Malin Tidy Towns Committee, I would like to present to the President a painting of a little thatched cottage on the approach to Malin known as Charlie Gahals, with Trebregi in the background. I hope she will cherish this and have it displayed in a prominent place in her residence.
Well, now, as I've said before, Bord Fáilte has had many successes in the past 40 years, but none greater than the Tidy Towns competition. So it is my pleasure now to call on the chairman of Bord Fáilte, and I'd like you to give him a very warm welcome, Mr. Martin Dully.
Uachtarán, Ara, Aspuig, agus Gwina Uishel. Níl an blas agam, mór manár. Uachtaránach, ar son an cúlúr de ile atá bailithe an seohaniu, fearam fear Queen Fáilte Roth, Uachtarán. Gámid buchas ó Crílath, agus asach tú bheith in our mask, ar an our cáid seo. Ó cáid mar saoil córtha, do comórtas na bailte slacfar, haar fan tíran ina umláin. Ganimid díad, dit Uachtarán. Go bhfuil sé mar cospóir agin leanúint leis, agus an comórtas seo a ubert, agus a cothú ó ceann na tíre. President, distinguished guests, on behalf of Bord Fáilte, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to this formal ceremony which commemorates the achievements of the people of Malin in Bord Fáilte's National Tidy Towns competition. I think you'll agree that the President has paid a special honour to Malin. Because I know that Her Excellency has a very, very busy schedule, and yet she's taken time out of that schedule to be here today in Malin, and in particular to unveil later the bronze plaque for National Tidy Towns winner. It's recognition for the tremendous public spirit, civic pride here in Malin, and all the hard work too, which went into winning this coveted award. And I'm again delighted that President Robinson has travelled to Donegal, although I know that she enjoys her reunions here with her many friends and indeed with her family. Now, today's programme is part of a programme for National Tidy Towns Day, an event we plan to hold around this time of year, every year from now on. For this year, however, we are going to concentrate purely on Malin as the winner of the National Tidy Towns Award. But next year, we envisage this event becoming or expanding into a celebration in each of the 7 tourism regions of Ireland. Constant beacon leading towns and villages all over Ireland to a better quality of life. And what began as a competition to brighten what were in the 50s rather drab Irish towns has now become a strong force for leadership in the preservation of our urban heritage and its presentation also to a new and appreciative generation of Irish people and indeed overseas visitors too. Towns like Malin are a legacy passed on by our predecessors, and it is our duty to conserve them and to ensure that they survive and prosper as part of that national heritage. I think it's also fair to say that tidy towns, through tourism, leads to increased business and prosperity. Already in this country, tourism is worth £1.5 million a year in foreign revenue, and it makes a sizable contribution to the creation of jobs and commercial opportunities here in the country. And as they travel around Ireland, our visitors from overseas, they stop and eat, and they visit shops, and they spread the benefits of tourism to local communities. And I'm sure it is the towns like Malin, which present themselves well, which benefit most because they are neat, tidy and inviting. Also offer warm welcome, caring welcome to their visitors. Now there are a number of people and organisations we should thank here today. And as I mention each of them, I think the least they deserve from this marvellous group congregated here is a round of acknowledgement, and please give them an applause as I mention them. First of all, I want to compliment and congratulate the people of Malin. Will you show them your high regard, please? John McLaughlin is a brilliant worker. He has a brilliant committee and a great community behind him, and I want to recognise the Tidy Towns Commission headed by John. My great pleasure. It's an honour and a special pleasure indeed to introduce to you a great audience, but to introduce Her Excellency, the President of Ireland, Mrs. Mary Robinson.
Agini Ushla, agus Gamor War, Agini Oiga, Tá áthas le bheith anseo live in you, mar Uachtarán na Heran. Tá an áthas bheith harasharísh I Malin, I Inishoan, I Gundi Dúnanál, Gundi Dúchas ma Wahar féin. Agus Janum Cogádagus ó Crí le Winter Malin, as an écht gasca atá Jainta acu. Agus Tom fear weak div, as an Valchul Loch Lianver, a Kershiv Rome, agus Rev Mafarkela Nick in you. I am delighted to have this opportunity, this important opportunity, to come back here to this lovely town of Malin. I was here last, in fact, in July of 1990. I had other things on my mind, I have to say, but I recall remarking how very well Malin looked, because this is a place I knew, as many of you are aware, in my childhood. Everyone, I think, has their childhood memories, their childhood place. And for me, it's this part of Inishowen. I remember Malin well. I remember going out on a boat in Malin Head many times fishing. I remember the beach in Kildaff. I remember Greencastle, Moville, and all these places. And I have said before, and I've been laughed at, that for me the sun always shone when we came here for holidays in Donegal, and no one will ever tell me different. And I never thought, when I came here as a child as young as any of the children who are gathered around here today, that I would come back one day as President of Ireland, come back on the occasion of Malin winning for the second time the National Tidy Towns Award, and that I would have the honour of unveiling the bronze plaque, the permanent record of Malin's achievement in 1992. You can never know what life has in store for you, but certainly this is for me one of the very happy moments. And I do have a real sense of the pride that you, the people of Inishowen and the people of Malin, take in this beautiful part of Ireland. I know that sometimes you feel that the rest of Ireland doesn't appreciate the Inishowen Peninsula enough and doesn't appreciate the beauties and the wonders that are here in Malin itself and all around this peninsula. But you certainly have a president who appreciates Inishowen and who is delighted to come back. And what pleased me very much when I had an opportunity to walk around a bit more privately in July of 1990, and what I see very much and is celebrated in giving the award to Malin today is the way in which this lovely triangular village green preserves the 17th century structure of buildings, and how well you have committed yourselves to cherishing and enhancing your environment. And I know that that does take enormous community commitment and community effort, but it's also part of your own pride in Malin, and you pass that on to the next generation. I had an opportunity when I arrived here, first of all, to meet your very hard-working chairman, John McLaughlin. And then he brought me round and he introduced me to the committee. And he said the same thing. He wasn't aware of it, I think. He said, and here's another hard-working member of the committee. And here's another hard-working member of the committee. And I said, well, that's the definition of a committee that makes the commitment that is evident here to actually win the national award. And I think it's a great tribute to Malin that you achieved that in 1970, that you've never really been out of the reckoning in the tidy towns, that you've maintained an extraordinary standard, and that this year's committee put in, or the committee for 1991 put in the effort which resulted in Malin achieving the highest award. I was delighted to meet the members of the 1970 committee, and they very much identify with what has been achieved again by Malin, and the recognition of the way this beautiful place has enhanced and preserved its architectural, its physical and its natural environment. And this brings me on to the importance of the environment here in Inishowen and how you treasure it. And I see a link between the three things that I have had the honour and pleasure to do as President since I came to the Inishowen Peninsula yesterday. This obviously is the highlight. It's a very, very important occasion. But I began yesterday in Bancrana, opening the Tullyarvan Mill. And of course, there was great emphasis on the environment and great involvement of young people there. And that was a very clear profile, if you like, of what was happening there. A strong concern for the environment, a wildlife conservancy exhibition, young people involved, a resource for schools to treasure their heritage and their environment. And then I crossed over yesterday afternoon to Moville, and I opened the centre of the environmental groups, the Moville Women's Environmental Group and the Greencastle Moville Environmental Group in the heart of Moville. And it was a lovely afternoon, and everybody in Moville turned out. And again, there was a great participation by children who had dressed themselves up to represent the continents, to represent protection of the environment on the international level, as well as in the Moville and Greencastle area and in this part of Inishowen. And I was delighted to find that concern for the environment and enhancing it is so strongly a theme today, a theme of the beautiful address read out to me and presented to me, of the exhibition which I'm looking forward to going and visiting shortly in the parochial hall. And what I love about what I have seen in these 2 days in Inishowen is, first of all, that you do treasure and value your heritage and your environment, and secondly, that young people are very much involved in it. And I was delighted when the chairman of Bord Fáilte, Martin Dully, referred to the, that's my helicopter coming, referred to the way in which this idea of the Tidy Towns competition is growing. Isn't it a marvellous idea in the first place? A very simple idea, and yet a wonderful idea, dreamt up by somebody in 1958. I hope whoever it was who dreamt it up has got a medal by now, because it really has changed towns all over Ireland. But now the idea is to have a national Tidy Towns Day, and I think that that's an excellent way of developing the whole concept. And I hope among the 700 or so Tidy Towns committees, like the hard-working Malin Committee, that it will become a day of taking stock and of particularly celebrating the work that goes on in the context of the Tidy Towns competition to preserve and protect the built and the natural environment. I must say, it is a great joy for me as President to see so many voluntary committees all around the country doing such good work. And I'm here today to celebrate here in Malin, the committee that has achieved the highest award. It will give me enormous pleasure in a few moments to unveil the bronze plaque, but I am proud as President of Ireland to extend warmest congratulations to the committee and to you, the townspeople of Malin, on your great achievement, and I'm delighted to be here today to honour it. Garamila Mahagif Galer.